Welcome to BSc Statistics students. In this lesson I discuss one of the problem of two-phase method. In two-phase method I discuss one problem. You see here this is what the problem. Minimize z is equal to 12x1 plus 20x2 subject to the constraint. These are the constraints, two constraints greater than or equal to and x1 x2 greater than or equal to 0. What we have to do first? So we have to do first, as usual, the procedures. So you have to check whether the objective function is maximization or not. No, it is not maximization, it is minimization. So hence we have to convert into maximization problem by using the formula minimize z is equal to minus maximum of minus z, as usual, is equal to minus maximum of minus z. Minus z is minus 12x1 minus 20x2. So hence I write, what is the problem now? The problem is maximization of minus z, that is minus z is equal to minus 12x1 minus 20x2. This is what the problem now we are doing, which means we are doing maximization problem of minus z. Objective function is now minus 12x1 minus 20x2. This is what the objective function, remember. So right, so for which you have the changes in two-phase method. In phase 1 and phase 2 we calculate, but before that what we have to write is we have to introduce slack and surplus variable, and actually step 2 is if all bi are non-negative or not, we have to check. That is 100 and 120 here we see, right hand side constants. All bi's are non-negative, therefore go to next step. The next step is you have to introduce slack and surplus variables so that convert inequations into equations. So that is what I am doing. So here are greater than or equal to constraints. So hence I am introducing two surplus variables, one for each, and now I write I convert in terms of equations, which means you see here 6x1 plus 8x2. For example, let it be minus x3, subtract a variable which is called surplus variable minus x3. So I am writing is equal to 100 here. So I want to introduce some more variables, therefore I have indicated like this. Similarly, next one 7x1 plus 12x2. This is what the second equation, second constraint, greater than or equal to. So hence introduce greater than or equal to, which means minus x4. I am leaving minus x3, so minus x4, which is equivalent to be 120. x3, x4 are surplus variables. So I am writing surplus variables. So x3 greater than or equal to 0 and x4 greater than or equal to 0 are surplus variables. Surplus variables. That is what the indication you have to write. And then now you see here, because initial basic feasible solution is not formed, so hence you have to minus 1 0 0 minus 1. For greater than or equal to constraint, one artificial variable, and another greater than or equal to constraint also another artificial variable. You see here, probably you are following this. First of all, introduce slack and surplus variables, and after finished off, then you have to go for artificial variables, whichever necessary for greater than or equal to and equal to. Here we have greater than or equal to, therefore here I am introducing plus x5, it is an artificial variable, and plus x6, it is also another artificial variable for the second constraint. First greater than or equal to constraint for plus x5, and another one plus x6, two artificial variables we have introduced. You can also introduce a1, a2, that is another indication of the artificial variables. You can also indicate like that. Now what I am writing here, x5 greater than or equal to 0 and x6 greater than or equal to 0, which are artificial variables, artificial variables. So this is what the next point we have to write. Now you see here, this is what the picture of the introducing slack surplus variable and artificial variables. Well, now I consider phase 1. Of course, initial basic feasible solution. So first of all, initial basic feasible solution, which I write here, initial basic feasible solution, which is going to be considered as xb is equal to b inverse b as usual formula, and which I have already explained a number of times in big M simplex methods very clearly that xb is nothing but b inverse b, which is going to be indicated. Xb is nothing but which vectors are there in the basis, so for which the variables. So now I indicate here, this is what vector y1, this is what vector y2, y3, y4, y5, y6. The coefficient matrix, that is coefficient of x1, coefficients of x1 is nothing but y1 vector, coefficient of x2, coefficient of x3, x4, x5, x6, in which coefficient of x5, that is y5 vector, it is nothing but in 1 0, that is the first value of the xb, that is x5. Similarly 0 1, that is x6. So these are the two particular values of basis variable xb, basis variable xb, x5, x6. You can easily observe that b inverse b, it is 1 0 0 1, the vector b, capital B, inverse is same, and small b is 100 and 120. You can write your matrix form. You write the matrix form as Ax is equal to B, as I explained many number of classes. So Ax B indicate all. B is nothing but 100 and 120 I have taken directly. So xy x is equal to finally 100, 120. So xy is equal to 100, x6 is equal to 120. This is what the values of xb, that is x5, x6. So this is initial basic feasible solution. So I am doing shortcut of some particular values. So therefore, now you see, now I am considering phase 1. Phase 1, what we have to consider, it is an auxiliary linear programming problem you have to consider. Auxiliary LPP we have to consider. What is auxiliary linear programming problem? What you have to consider in auxiliary LPP? In auxiliary linear programming problem, you have to consider first of all objective function z star. What is z star? In z star, what we have to do, for all the original variables and slack variables and surplus variables, we have to give the cost 0, and only the artificial variables we have to give the cost -1. That is, I write the values, that is coefficients, cost coefficients C1, C2 for x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, 6 variables here. So for x1 0 into x1, for x2 plus 0 into x2, for x3 plus 0 into x3, for x4 0 into x4, -1 into x5. Why? Because it is an artificial variable. -1 into x6. This is for x5 and x6. The two artificial variables have given the cost as -1. -1, -1. So remaining all other variables 0. Allocate the cost of the artificial variables as -1, -1, and remaining all other variables put the cost as zeros. Assign the cost for artificial variables -1, remaining all other variables including original variables as 0. That is what auxiliary LPP, linear programming problem. Remaining and the problem is same. Okay, so I have indicated only objective function. So this is what the starting step of the auxiliary linear programming problem in phase 1 you have to consider. And after that you format simplex table 1. You see here I have formatted simplex table 1. So in simplex table 1, so I put the as usual procedure, simplex procedure, nothing it is changed. So apply the simplex procedure. By applying the simplex procedure, you write the values of xb. The values of xb they put in the first column of the simplex table, that is initial basic feasible solution, that is 100 and 120, 100, 120 initial basic feasible solution, and yb, which are the vectors corresponding to the basis 1001, which are there y5, y6, x5 and x6 corresponding variables. You can refer, it is the y5, y6. y5 is 10, y6 is 01. Right hand side cost matter, that is initial basic feasible solution we have calculated 120, 120. It is x5, x6, xb 100 and 120. This is initial basic feasible solution we have substituted here. We have entered at the first simplex table, in the first column of the simplex table. Right. Now the cost, I write the cost 0, 0. How many vectors are there? First of all, y1, y2 I have written, y3, y4, y5, y6. These are the cost of that is vectors which are there in the original problem, the linear programming problem. And y3, here I am indicating y3, and then y4, and then y5 and y6. So if we consider y3 and costs of the corresponding vectors 0, 0, 0 also 0 here, and y5 minus 1, y6 minus 1 the cost. Therefore y5 cost is minus 1, y6 cost is minus 1. And now I am considering z star here and zj minus cj. It is only the change here z star. So this is the what simplex table 1 in the phase 1. In phase 1 it is simplex table 1. So what are the values of y1, y2 etc. I write the value 6, 7, 8, 12 and minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1. You see these are the not basis matrix. So therefore I am writing 1, 0, 0, 1. Here we have introduced artificial variables 1, 0, 0, 1. Here x5 and x6 artificial variables. Now you calculate z star as usual procedure, cb into xb. This is cb, this is xb. Minus 1 into 100, minus 1 into 120. This is minus 220. Plus we add the variables, and now zj minus cj, that is net evaluations you have to calculate for all the vectors y1 to y6. Minus 1 into 6, minus 6, minus 1 into 7, minus 7, add, plus, so minus 13, minus 0, hence minus 13, and minus 13, yes, and then minus 1 into 8, minus 1 into 12, 8 minus 12, minus 20, so hence it is minus 20. So minus 1 into 1, 1 plus 1, it minus 1 into 0, 0, minus 0, so hence it is plus 1, 0 into minus 1, minus 1 into minus 1, it is plus 1, plus 1 minus 0, it's 1. Obviously the cos here, minus 1 into 1 plus 0, minus of minus 1, 0, 0, minus 1 into 1, minus 1, minus of minus plus 1, 0. So you see here there are two particular negative values here, minus 13, minus 20. Apply the simplex procedure, remaining is same. By applying the simplex procedure, minus 13, minus 20, the most negative is minus 20. Most negative is minus 20. So corresponding to minus 20, we have the vector y2. Therefore, what you have to write? Therefore, y2 enters. Therefore, y2 enters. Y2 enters. Now you have to see all the elements. You check all the elements in y2, 8 and 12, which are greater than or equal to 0, positive. So if all the elements are less than or equal to 0, unbounded solution. That is a usual procedure. Now we have to consider in the next step, that is if at least one YAR is greater than 0, you have to consider minimum ratios. So I'm considering the minimum ratios here. I'm doing the minimum ratios. What are the minimum ratios you have to calculate? So y2 enters. I write here the part y2 enters, and now I'm calculating minimum of xbi divided by YAR, which the YAR is greater than 0. So this is the formula you have to apply. It is equivalent to be minimum of what are the values here? You see here. We go and refer the last table. What is the minimum ratio it is required to calculate? The minimum ratios are, you see here, xbi by YAR, the corresponding vector 100 by 8, 120 by 12. Okay. So the value here we calculate See, this is what the minimum of 100 by 8, 120 by 12. Okay, so 120 by 12 is 10, it is more than 10. So therefore the value is 10. This one corresponding to this particular element. So the corresponding element is also required. What is the corresponding element? That is 12. Corresponding to the element 12, it is obtained. So therefore you see, again you come back and refer the table. This is what the table. This is the pivotal element 12 or the corresponding vector. You see here y6. Therefore y6 leaves the basis. Therefore y6 leaves the basis. So y6 is an artificial vector. It is leaving from the basis. Therefore I am cancelling y6. Okay, I am removing it is from the scene of the simplex procedure, simplex table and the simplex procedure. Okay, so therefore I am deleting the vector. Since the region y6 is an artificial vector which leaves from the basis, hence it can be removed. It can be removed. You see here, and the 12 is pivotal element, and you have to convert this pivotal element to unity, and 8 other elements are zeros. That is corresponding element in its column is 8. It is to be converted as 0, for which I am considering R1. This is R2. Right, so the next step you have to do is R2, in which the 12 element you have to convert as 1. Okay, of course I finished the procedure here. So therefore what you have to write, therefore y6 leaves, therefore y6 leaves, and 12 is pivotal element. 12 is pivotal element. This is what the things you have to calculate from one simplex table to another simplex table. y2 enters, minimum ratio is this, and then corresponding to the element 12, and corresponding to the element 12, what is the vector? y6. We have that is y6, corresponding vector is y6, then therefore y6 leaves, and 12 is pivotal element. These are the things you have to write. Leaves means y6 leaves from the basis, y2 enter into the basis. You have to write clearly. So these are the point which you have to cover from one simplex table to another simplex table. And now row operations. So I am formulating simplex table 2, and then immediately you have to formulate simplex table 2. So I have considered this is what the simplex table 2. So in simplex table 2, I am writing R1 dash, R2 dash. What are the elements we have to enter first? YB. What are the changes? What are the changes in YB? That we have to see. The changes in YB is y6 leaves and y2 enters. This is the change. And remaining vector is y5. y5 as it is. So you see here, this is y5. y5 is as it is. And I write the cos 0, 0. Remaining vectors are y2, y3, y4 and y5. So these are the remaining vectors, y3, y4, y5. Right? So the cos here 0, 0, 0, and y5 cost is minus 1. The cost for y5 here is minus 1. y2 cost is 0. Alright? So therefore what I am writing here, now I have to calculate remaining all the operations with the help of the operations. What are the operations? You have to write R2 dash first, because it is a row which consists of the pivotal element. So now you come back again, we see what is the row in the pivotal element you have to convert. It is here the 12. So which means you have to divide R2 by 12. That is the first operation. You see here, I am entering into the first operation. So that is what R2 dash, it is R2 divided by 12. The elements itself, divide the element itself, we will get the unity. That is 1. You have to convert as 1. And one more operation, that is R1 dash. That is this one, R1 dash. So for R1 dash, what we have to do? For R1 dash, immediately what you have to do is plus R1. Okay, what is the element you have to convert as 0? That you have to see, and so that you have to multiply with R2 dash, because R2 dash entered first. Okay, right. Again, I'm going back and I'm seeing the value of R1, that is element in R1, which is to be converted as 0. You see here, this is R1 in the element in the R1, which is converted as 0, that is 8. Therefore, you have to write, you have to multiply with minus, we have to multiply with minus 8. Hope you understand. This is what the minus 8. Which row you have to multiply? That is R2 dash, which is to be entered at first. So now you do the operation. R2 dash, R2 divided by 12. I note down the values of the values of this particular. I note down by using the R2 by 12. By dividing with 12, what are the elements we have? Here it is, see here 10. It is 7 by 12. And this is 1, this is 0, and this is minus 1 by 12, and the next one is 0. Right? So these are the elements in the R2 dash. Now you see, by using this operation, you please calculate minus 8 into R2 dash, that is this, plus R1, that is in the previous table, the first row. Right? Please do the operations. If you do the operations, we get the values. I am noting down the values. I am noting the values here. The elements here 20. It is 4 by 3. And this is 0. This is minus 1. And this is 2 by 3. And this is what the value 1. So this is what the, after doing the operation, minus 8 into R2 dash, R1 dash is minus 8 into R2 dash plus R1, we get these values. So now, again you calculate Z star and Zj minus Cj as usual by simplex procedure. Z star is CB XB. Minus 1 into 20 plus 0 into 10, 0. So minus 20. Minus 20 plus 0, minus 20. Zj minus Cj, remaining net evaluations. Net evaluations you go and calculate. Minus 1 into 4 by 3 plus 0 into 7 by 12, that is minus 4 by 3, minus of 0, that is minus 4 by 3. And minus 1 into 0, 0 into 1, minus 0, it is 0. Minus 1 into minus 1, that is plus 1. 0 into 0, minus 0, hence it is plus 1. And minus 1 into 2 by 3, that is minus 2 by 3, minus of minus 0, that is it is minus 2 by 3. And minus 1 into 1, minus 1 plus 0, minus of minus plus 1, it is 0. So there are two negatives, minus 4 by 3, minus 2 by 3. You see which is most negative? It is less than 1. It is more than 1, greater than 1. So 1 point something. So therefore minus 4 by 3. Both are divided by 3. So minus 4 by 3, minus 2 by 3. Most negative is minus 4 by 3. Corresponding to minus 4 by 3, the elements, what is the vector you have? Y1. So therefore y1 enters. And again now you have to calculate minimum ratio, or you have to observe the elements here, 4 by 3, 7 by 12. Among which 4 by 3 and 7 by 12, we have to calculate, we have to observe the sign greater than all or less, greater than equal 0 or less than equal 0 or any values here. If all are less than equal 0, unbounded solution. No, here you have the positive values here, 4 by 3, 7 by 12 greater than 0. So hence we have to go and calculate the minimum ratio. So 20 by 4 by 3 minimum ratio, XBI by YAR, 20 by 4 by 3, 10 by 7 by 12. So you see the minimum value, right? So therefore I am writing here, therefore Y1 enters. Therefore I am writing here, therefore Y1 enters. That is the first thing. And then you calculate minimum ratios, the minimum of XBI by YIR, and where YIR should be greater than 0. So in which it is equivalent to be minimum of, what is the minimum ratio? It is calculate 20 by 4 by 3, 20 by 4 by 3 and 10 by 7 by 12, 10 by 7 by 12. So what is the minimum value? It is 60 by 4. It is equivalent to be minimum of 60 by 4 15. It is 7 by 120 by 7. It is more than. So minimum value is 15. That is regarding this. This is the value 4 by 3. So therefore it is obtained is 15. It is minimum value is 15. This is 120 by 7. It is more than 15. So therefore it is the value, the minimum corresponding to the element 4 by 3. So therefore you see corresponding to the element 4 by 3, two particular values can be indicated here. This is what the element here corresponding to the minimum ratio corresponding to this element. This element is corresponding to y5. Therefore y5 it is a vector. It is a vector. It is going to be leave from the basis. Hence, we can also it can be removed because it is an artificial vector. So since it is an artificial vector, it can be removed from the basis. That is, therefore, I am removing this particular entire vector of y5 from the simplex table seen. So therefore, this is what I am doing. This vector, it is going to be eliminated from the simplex table seen. So therefore, what I am writing here, therefore y1 leaves, y5 leaves, and 4 by 3 is pivotal element. This is what the calculation we have to do after completion of this. So now you see here again, y1 enters, and then minimum ratio is calculated. It is 15 corresponding to the element 4 by 3, and therefore 4 by 3 corresponding element vector is y5. Therefore y5 leaves, and 4 by 3 is the pivotal element. Okay, fine. This is what the calculation here up to here we have calculated, and this is part 1 of the calculation because I stop here, and so that I continue in the next class remaining calculations. I continue in the next class in the part 2 of the problem 1 of two-phase method. I continue in the next class. Thank you.